Hi, guys. Welcome back to Crime Time with Jess. So, tonight's going to be a little different than what I normally do. Um, I have my son here. He is Generation Alpha. He's 12 years old. His name is Jace. Jace, you want to say hi? Can you hear me? Jace, can you hear me? You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, can you speak? Oh, I can't hear you. There's something wrong with your audio. Yeah, your audio is not coming through at all. Your audio is I can't hear a single thing you're saying. Do I need to end this or like there's no audio coming from you. I'm gonna let him try to reboot. So him and I were talking earlier and he's calling me. So let's see. Hey son. I have to go on the app. It's because I was on like the website. I have to go on the app though. Okay. You have to send me the link on messages, and then I have to like put that link in. Oh, you can't do it this way? Nah, I can't do it on like Google. I have to do it like I have to download the app. I already downloaded it. I just need the link. Okay. So I just copy and paste the link and then just send it to me on the messages. Why is Nana in here? Nana is in here. Nana watches your stream. She does. She wants to watch you and I talk about our conversations. I like the leaves. I think the leaves are cool. Ah, man, you can't click that link and just it won't let you go from there. I can, but it just doesn't give me any audio since it's on Google. It has to be on the app. Oh man. Guests can stream this to their own destinations. Let's try that. Or maybe not. So you click the link and then it just didn't work. No, I can click the link, but it just you should have audio. Like if you can come up, then you should definitely be able to your audio. Try it again. Like try to come back in. Click that link and see what happens. I'm good, rapper. How are you? Hi, mom. You're about to what generation is Nana? Uh Jace. Mom, what generation are you? She's 18 years older than me. So if I'm 43, then my mom is 61. What is okay. I'm gonna have to Google that. If you are 61, what generation? Hold on, let me try to do this. Gen Fabulous. Gen Fabulous? Mom. Yeah, oh yeah, there she is. So my mom is Mom, what year were you born? If my mom is 61, so my mom, you are boomers too. Did you know that? Did you know that, Mom? Did you know that you're boomers too? I didn't even know there was a boomers 2 generation. That kind of sucks for you guys. They just kind of like threw you in after the boomers. So the boomers were 1946 to 1954. The boomers 2, which you guys just kind of piggybacked off them, 1955 to 1964. That's crap. Oh, 1963. Oh yeah, you're a boomers too, mom. You didn't even like get your own generation. That's so crappy. Uh,
Hello?
hi, son. Oh yes,
Can
you're
you
off.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, finally.
Okay,
Okay.
so Nana was really shafted in the whole generation thing. Because you have your boomers, you have the millennials,
Yeah.
Gen X, Gen Z. Jace is Gen Alpha, which is the latest generation. But Nana is boomers too. She didn't even get her own generation. She didn't even get it. She's like piggybacking off the boomers one. That's sad, mom. I feel for you out there. Rapper Sam, what's up? So me and Jace like have just conversations about a lot of things, I guess. But the always
Nana, y'all did not have the best music. Mm-mm.
oh he's gonna come for me straight away. So we talk about this a lot that my generation, millennials, have the best music, 90s R&B, 90s rap, 90s grunge, 90s rock, the best generation. And I feel sorry for Jason's generation because they just have trash music. I'm sorry, son. It's not your fault.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
just it is what it is. But I have to rapper clearly with his name
I am too. I am
is a
too.
giant rap fan.
I
Uh
love the profile picture too. I love Dr. Pepper a lot. So
yeah, what's up with the Dr. Pepper thing? I
Dr.
hate
Pepper's
Dr. Pepper.
good. Dr. Pepper's good.
See, another difference between the millennials and Generation Alpha. So, what me and Jace were talking about earlier is like my generation was unique in the way that we grew up without tech. We didn't have any Google, that. And then in the middle of our generation, we were suddenly thrown phones and Google and all of this. So we got to the unique perspective of seeing life without tech and then seeing life with tech. Generation Alpha, which is Jace, is the first generation that was born into a completely technology world, even more so than Generation Z. Generation Z would be my older kids, Jace's older siblings, my daughter Callie, my son Austin. They grew up in the tech world, but like my daughter didn't get her first phone till she was like 12 or 13. My son Austin, same thing. He was a little older, but like Jace was literally in his toddler bed in my room on his dad's phone. He couldn't read, he couldn't spell at 3, but he was literally working a phone by himself and looking up football clips because he was obsessed with football. And so that was always fascinating to us. Like, how is he doing this? And Aubrey, my 8-year-old, same thing. Before she could even read or write, she could work a phone, a tablet, all of that. So, Jace, I guess my question for you would be, what do you think about my generation? How do you see millennials?
Tough question, Mom.
Answer however you want, son.
I think they're a little boomery,
A little
you know?
boomery. Okay.
I think they claim they're the best generation, which I can't really argue with that because I think they're definitely a top three generation.
Well, thank
But
you
I,
for
I
that.
think they're like Dallas Cowboys fans, like they think they're the best,
Oh,
but in
man.
reality, they're not really the best.
And I'm actually a Dallas fan, so thank you for that. But no, I'm not going to disagree with you because I kind of think our generation was like the best. But I'm really excited to see where your generation is going to go. Like a generation that has been completely built on technology where do you think your generation is going to go? And how do you think AI is going to affect your generation?
I think AI is very powerful right now. There are people making like AI songs with rappers and using other people's voices with AI and like
Yeah,
creating a lot of stuff and drama and stuff with AI. Like the Kendrick and Lamar beef, they're making like Kendrick like fake Kendrick Lamar disses with AI. So AI could like I just think AI might take over the world. That's how I think the world might end.
that's a very good point of view because I agree. I feel like AI is brilliant and it's kind of the devil at the same time
Yeah.
because, like, if I wanted to, I could just take a voice clip of your voice and then make
Mhm.
it say whatever I wanted it to say.
Exactly. Yeah. That's all they have to
And
do.
yeah, and think about the damage that could do to someone.
Hmm.
Like, what if I hated you? You know what I mean? And I wanted to make you look really bad to people. So I take just like a 2 minute, 3 minute clip of your voice, and then suddenly, I'm saying like really racist things or bad things or whatever have you, and just destroy your credibility. And you didn't say anything. You didn't say none of it. You know, it's gonna be hard for people to like decipher what is
Yeah.
real and what is not.
Hmm.
So, like, as far as like the rap world goes, because you and I talk a lot about this.
Hmm.
Um,
I think
this
our rap, like, I think there's definitely good rappers in our generation, but I
like
don't think they're as good as like the 90s, like Tupac and Biggie. Then you have like, yeah,
Eminem,
hmm,
yeah.
Jay-Z.
Who would you say personally? It Who do you think is the greatest rapper of your generation?
Of my generation,
Of your generation, not mine, yours.
I don't really think there's a top one. I think there's definitely a top three though. And for a top three, I think I would have to go for Young Thug is kind of in our generation, kind of, but not really.
Okay,
But if we're counting him, then he's definitely in there. I think Kanye is definitely another good one in our generation. And
Kanye is not in your generation. Kanye is
he's
definitely in
not?
my generation.
No, he's
No,
not.
yes, he is. Kanye is my age, son.
He still makes music now though. He's made music in our generation too.
Well, but he's not of your generation, though. Like, of your generation, I don't know, because with Generation Alpha, Jace was born in 2011. So he is the start
Just
of,
Jen.
yeah, just Jen. Jace was born in 2011, so he was the start of Generation Alpha. Um, but Kanye is definitely in my he's a millennial. He's like around my age. He's not 12, son. He's like 40 something. Hi, Justice Jane. So my guest is my 12-year-old son, Jace, today.
Hi, Justice.
And also Colleen. Colleen's always a loyal supporter of the channel, Jace.
Who? Colleen.
Colleen. Yeah.
She's a mod. You see that?
Yeah, she's a mom. She just always shows up and is always here and just a great person. But I think you guys will see. I've had 6 children, and the one that definitely takes after me with this kind of stuff is this guy here. Is Jace. Not afraid of the camera, not afraid to talk, and um, happy birthday, Jace. Love your name. Well, Jace's birthday is not
Is
until
November
November.
November 1st, 2011. 11/1/11.
Justice Jane, I love you. My birthday actually just passed, like a week
May
ago.
28th,
May
19. I forgot.
81,
Yeah.
1981, millennial son. Um, but oh, Gloria Dellon's in here as well. Hi, just spotted you were on. Is this the hotel lobby? Yes, it is, Gloria Dellon. We are in Wyoming now. So, yes, this is the hotel lobby. And just want to have a conversation with my own son, who is, thank you, Colleen, which is Generation Alpha, the youngest generation, and just kind of get their thoughts because, we all come from different generations, have different views, different things like that. But Jason and people that were born from 2011 to 2024 are going to be ushering in the new, however this world is going to go. So it's kind of interesting to hear his thoughts and hear how he thinks about life. And I'll ask you this, son. I
Yes, sir.
don't really like politics on my channel.
Okay.
Um,
I don't
but
like politics at all.
you don't like politics at all. Okay. But I'm sure you've seen that Trump was convicted of
Mhm.
34 felonies. What do you think about that? Do you just not care? Is it
I
not a
think
concern?
I think Trump is definitely a great president. I don't care. They call him racist, but I think he's done a lot of things that are really good, like gas prices and prices in general. And Biden kind of just raised all that and like made it hard for poor families to, you know.
Live?
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So interesting perspective from a young man. How would you describe your generation? Uh, do you guys think that you guys are? Do you think your generation is more liberal, more conservative? How do you guys? What do you think?
Just a messed up generation, honestly.
A messed
Just
up generation? Why?
a very messed up one. It's just like everybody is addicted to like Xbox, their phone, computer, just like every technology thing nowadays. I'm one of them, but it's just everybody's addicted. Nobody can get off, and it's hard.
So, is there any part of you that kind of wishes tech didn't exist?
I think without tech, I've always wanted to try to go like at least like a month without tech and see how the world would change by then. But I think tech is a very important part to me because I think I'm really good at tech and I do things a lot better with tech.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me? Like what life was like before tech or
How like how would y'all really communicate? You know?
honestly, when I was in school, we literally would write letters and to our friends or people that we had crushes on, and then we did a special folding of the letter. Like, we would fold it multiple ways, and then you had to, like, pull the paper, and it would come undone, and it was kinda like a surprise. But that's really how we communicated or calling on a landline phone. There just Google did not exist. There was none of that. Um, if you wanted to hang out with people, you actually had to show up in person. It wasn't this, where, "Oh, let's get on a live stream together." This didn't
Yeah.
exist, for me, and for generations before me. So, I think that's why it's so interesting to see a generation like yours that there has been nothing but tech. You guys do not know a world without it. And I think I like what you said, that you were kind of interested in, just like getting rid of tech for like a month just to see what would happen. What do you
Yeah.
think would happen?
I think a lot of kids would like really struggle a lot because I think some people just have like the natural, not I wouldn't say talent, or just like natural thing that they're just better with technology, and I think they would struggle a lot more. and I think with technology they can do a lot better, which I'm
So
kind
you
of included in that. I think
so
I'm
you
better with
think
technology.
so so do you think like maybe like introverted kids are like tech helps them because they
Yeah,
don't have to be, you know what I mean,
yeah.
all up in people's faces, but then how do you think tech hurts your generation?
A lot because a lot of kids like they've always grew up with technology, so it would be like harder for them to grow up and like just process a little bit because we're so used to technology already. It's just a big part in our generation now.
What do you think about like, and we haven't actually ever talked about this like off of line, but
Yeah.
as far as like bullying goes for you guys'
Mhm.
generation with tech, how severe, like scale of 1 to 10, would you say it is?
Cyberbullying.
Yeah,
It depends. Like, are we talking about like you know the person or it's just some random person you know online?
you know the person.
I think that's really bad because like for instance, like somebody from your school and like you could like do something to them and they'll get like really like mad at you, then they'll just like text you and they'll just say a lot of bad things about you and then post stuff about you and just other things.
You don't have to answer this, but have you had this personally happen to you?
One time this year,
How did you handle that? Or how did that make you feel?
honestly, I didn't really care because I was kind of expecting it. So, and honestly, didn't really do anything. Just did school, just did whatever I had to do, and just normal day.
What's the most extreme case of like bullying online that you ever saw? Like tell the story.
Okay, this might take me like a minute to think.
That's
So, are
okay.
we talking about I've experienced it or like just anything?
Like what you have personally saw.
Oh, okay. Mm, mm. Dang, this is rough.
Tough question.
Yeah.
Well, I know you've had to see it. And
What
Glorin Dellen has a question for you. She's asking which is tougher, in person or online?
What do you mean, like dealing with bullies?
Yeah.
I think online, actually, wait, this really depends a lot because in person, like they can say stuff online and then like they can be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat you up in person, and then like the next day they see you, they don't even do anything. So I think in person is tougher because online they can just say whatever they want and they can bark, but they don't bite. They just, you know,
Y- Yeah, so like a bunch of like key
yeah, keyboard
keyboard
warriors.
warriors, yeah.
Yeah.
So again, back to the original question, like what was the worst bullying like you've ever seen where you actually like kind of like felt sorry for the person or had empathy for the person because it was so bad.
Mm. This is a really tough question. I'm gonna be really honest with you.
Okay. Why?
Um, I don't know because I've experienced a lot, but I just really can't think of a really bad one.
Well, what's one that kind of like just like sticks out in your mind, I guess.
The one that happened to me this year.
Okay. You want to talk about it or
I'll
no?
tell I'll tell like half of the story because it's kind of a long story, so I don't want to do the full story.
Okay.
So basically, it was like sixth period. It was like somewhere in like April, and it's like Monday, and we're in sixth period. It's the last period of the day. We're all ready to go home. My friend Quentin, he's like, because he has band class before, and he has like a lot of people that like mess with him in band class, and he's like mad like after band class because I think something happened to him. Me and him usually like in sixth period we usually like to play around, like throw pencils at each other, just do something stupid. So I threw a pencil at him, so he got like really mad. And then when I got home, he told me like we weren't friends anymore and all that. And then like he's gonna beat me up the next day. Then I just went to school the next day, and he was like there. He was like really mad, and he was just like, I don't know, but he like never actually like did anything. Like I walked by him like a million times. Went in the bathroom, he was in there a million times. Just really didn't do anything. I think he was just upset for that day. And then the next day after that, we made up after school.
Were before you guys made up, were you scared?
Nah, not really.
No. So, have
Because I
you ever?
literally, I literally like prayed to God to give me the protection I needed in case anything does happen. And another thing is my studies teacher always told me this, that if you think about this saying can really not make you scared of anybody. They can't physically touch you because you can sue them for assault. They can't really they can't really do anything to you, honestly. All they can really say is just say something about you.
Yeah, I mean, Eminem said that. Like, what are they gonna do? They can't,
Exactly.
they can put me down vocally. They can't put me down lyrically. So basically, but it's very interesting for my generation and generations older than me to see you guys navigating through this world um of tech, from such a like literally birth. I mean,
Yeah.
you were again, you were 3 years old, working a phone. Aubrey was even younger than that. So to see it, I don't know, like I kind of feel bad for you guys because a world without all the tech and the Google and all that, I feel like it was more genuine, but that's just my thought. That's my feeling. That it was a more genuine world because you had to, see people face to face and say things face to face, or you couldn't just get online and rip somebody apart, but that's so
Mhm.
easy for your generation now to do. And so we're just kind of watching from the sidelines, like, how's this going to work out? Like, how is this going to turn out for you guys? And I have to tell you, as your mom, it kind of scares me a little bit, because I've seen news reports and things like that where children your age or even younger have taken their own life from being bullied online.
Mhm. Just I'm excited for the future because it's my future, obviously, but
Yeah.
I'm a little scared because AI could get powerful.
Can
Something
you
could get
speak up?
more.
Can you speak up a little bit, son? Because yeah.
We're in like the middle. We might have a chance of a possible World War III. So it's just a lot could happen in the future. Now we have like three wars going on now. AI
From
is
your
getting
p- fr-
advanced.
from your
So
perspective as a 12-year-old, how do you think that World War III would happen, and between what countries?
I think it's gonna be continue with Russia and Ukraine, and then I think we're gonna help out because Russia really wants that land from Ukraine. I think if we keep really pushing and keep helping Ukraine, which is a nice thing to do, but George Washington said that we should always try to keep peace instead of getting involved with other battles that doesn't involve with us. So I think Russia and Ukraine are just going to keep fighting, and then we're going to eventually help them out like too much, and then Russia is going to get tired of it. Then I think it's going to go into a nuclear war since we have the technology to send nukes, and they can send nukes all the way from Russia all the way to here, and it's just going to be a crazy battle. And we can't really do anything because We're a small country, but we're not a big country. We're just in the middle. Two nukes could probably like destroy our whole country. So I don't know.
Okay, that's very interesting. I'm highly interested in what you're saying right now. Hey Jess, how are you? Uh, but what gave you that idea that we're a small country but a big country at the same time? Just, like what made you think that?
Like if you think about it, like you think, oh yeah, the USA is a really big country. We have like 50 states and it's really big. But if you really look at like a globe or a map or anything, it's honestly really not that big. It's just like in the middle of Canada, Mexico, you know.
Yeah, honestly, I love what you're saying here because maps have notoriously been distorted with Africa actually being shown as smaller than it actually is because it's actually much larger,
Hmm.
and then the United States being kind of shown bigger than it is because it's actually smaller. So you're actually correct on that. I love your intelligence, son. I could just pick your brain all day long. Um, you're just for a 12-year-old, I think you're highly intelligent and for your
Thank you so much.
generation, you kind of give me some hope that
Yeah,
you guys are going to carry on and do the right thing, whatever that is. But I really do think that you guys are going to do that. If you had the this is like 20 questions right now, right? Because I'm
okay.
kind of picking your brain as a
Hmm.
generation alpha. But if you like in 20 years from now, right? You're gonna
Hmm.
be 32 years old.
Okay.
What do you think this country is going to look like? He's 12, Colleen.
I'm 12, Kyle. Um,
Do you think that we're going to be a more conservative country? Do you think we'll be a more liberal country? Do you think that
I
how do you think cuz your peers and yourself you know your peers better than all of us do.
Mhm.
So what is like the talk between you guys? Like, do you think that your generation leans more conservative or more liberal?
Liberal,
Really?
liberal. Yeah.
Okay. And well, I don't know if I want to ask that question because I don't want people judging you. I was
But
going to ask you like how you felt about that, but I don't want people judging you for your own personal beliefs, but I don't know. Like, do you think that's good or bad? You know?
I mean, it can be good at some times, but it can be bad sometimes. So I think it can be both.
Let me ask you this. As your mom, a millennial, what do you think the biggest thing that millennials did wrong with their children? What would you change with your own children?
So if I had children, what would I change?
Yes.
I think I would introduce them into technology later than earlier.
Later than earlier. Very interesting. Okay. And
If
what
you,
else?
mm, it's kind of really it because I think some parents teach their kids technology a little too early. Like they'll get their kid a phone at like 8 or like 9 or something, and then it just goes on from there.
Do you think that I let you have tech too early?
No, because I think I'm really good at tech. I love tech ever since I was introduced to it.
Well, I know that. But do you think that it's hindered you in any way?
No.
No. So, what about your sister? What about Aubrey? Do you think it's hindered Aubrey? Do
Feel a little bad for her because she was like born like really late. Like I think she was born like I'm glad she's born, but I think she was born at like a really bad time
why?
because she's gonna be like 40 in like 20s, 50s, 60. No, she's gonna be like 40 in like 2060 or something or 2070 something.
Well, how do we know what 2060 is going to look like?
Sure.
You know,
It's
so
true.
how can that be
But I
bad?
think she was just born at a wrong year. I think if she was born in like 2014 or 2015 or something, then that wouldn't
She was born
be.
in 2016, son.
Yeah, I know,
You
but
you
I'm saying if she was born in 2015 or 2014, I think that would be a little bit better.
hmm. So so the ultimate question, I guess. Uh Tech is good or bad? Ultimate question. Yes or no?
For me, I personally think tech is really good. I think tech is like the greatest thing a human could ever think of. But
Yeah.
I think to like people my age, like 12 or above, I think tech is really good. But I think for kids like under 12, it's not really too good. You know, 11 could probably slide, but other than that, I don't think it's too good.
Why so I obviously noticed that you picked your own age as the cutoff point of being good. So why do you think under 12 is bad? Like what is so bad about that?
Because I think 12 and above, like you're about to be a teenager, you're like understanding things a lot more, your brain is processing a lot more. And I think under like 12, like 11 and 10, like 9, 8, and then blah, 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 all the other ages, I just think they're not really like, I think 11, their brain's a little processed, but I don't think it's as processed as like, because like us 12-year-olds, like we're growing, we're about to be teenagers, and we're just like focused on bigger things. And I think 11-year-olds are just not really too focused on bigger things, and they're still focused on like being a kid still.
Okay, great answer. What do you think you if you could give advice to my generation, what would it be?
Don't let your kids have technology too early or too late.
Great advice. Um, and anything else besides tech that you would give my generation feedback? Like, hey, you guys were great at parenting this way, but you were horrible this way, or you were,
You guys are good at parenting like outside and like family time and all that, but y'all aren't really too good. Y'all aren't good at parenting with technology because you guys never really had our type of technology.
I will agree with you because again, my generation was that middle generation where we grew up without it and then we turned into teenagers because you were 3 years old working a phone, but I was 16 when I first got a computer and I got AOL. Do you know what AOL is? Okay, it's America Online. But we had chat rooms
Okay.
and it was really horrible. And when I look back on it, it was really, really terrible because I was 16 years old and I'm in these chat rooms and we always did ASL. People would
Mhm.
ask that. And what that stood for was age, sex, location. So, what's your age? Are you a man or a woman or a girl or a boy? And where are you located? So I would say, 16 F Delaware, 16-year-old female Delaware. And then I had all these older men. I didn't see it as a problem then. Now that
Yeah.
now that I'm much older and I look back, I'm like, holy crap, But then I was just like, "Oh, this is so fun. This is so cool. I can chat with all these people all over the world." And it wasn't a good thing, because
That's another thing. I think technology and like older people, like predators, and like that's why I don't think you should introduce your kids into technology that early because of online predators and
have
yeah.
you ever had someone, and you didn't tell me about it, but have you ever had someone online try to prey upon you?
No,
Never?
I can identify if somebody's being sketchy or if somebody's being weird really easy. I can just tell off their energy and like I just like usually once I figure that out, I just usually just stop talking to them and just block them and just do whatever I can to get them away from me.
Do you think that's because you were introduced to tech so young that you were able to decipher who was good or bad, you know?
I think I'm glad I was introduced into tech early because I really like tech and I'm like in love with tech. So I think it's good that I was introduced early, but I think other people being introduced early may not be too good. But yeah,
Yeah, because I was just about to point out your discrepancy there because you said, don't introduce your kids too young to tech, but then
yeah,
you just said, I'm glad I was introduced to tech young. And I think for my generation, that's the conundrum. Like
mhm,
with you and your sister, Aubrey, I was just like, I don't know what is right or wrong because you guys' generation moves so fast with tech that
yeah,
if I had stopped it or not allowed it, you guys would have been behind socially. Um, but then allowing it also allows a whole other host of problems. So it's always been a battle with that of, did I introduce them too young? Did
yeah.
I do something wrong there? You know what I mean? So that's always been a thing, but you yourself are saying, I'm glad I was, but for other people, it might not
It
have
may
been a
not
good
be
thing.
too good. Yeah.
Can you name an example without naming names of how that was not good?
Uh, what do you mean like what was not good? Introducing a kid to like to tech too early?
Yeah.
Um, I think let's say you give like a 9-year-old boy, let's say you give him like a phone, a computer, and then like a game system or something. I think since their brain isn't really fully processed and they don't know too much about the world, they can just like find anybody they meet online and just like talk to them or just like like give their address out or something and like people can like scam them and do other things.
I think you just hit that right on the mark because that is truly scary. And I worry about that with your sister.
Hmm.
Because Aubrey. She's friendly, she'll talk to people. I have drilled it into her head, like, you don't ever tell anybody where you live and blah 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 blah. But I sometimes I just don't feel like she really understands that. And then I want to take the tablet away from her and take the phone away from her because I'm
But
worried.
if you do that, then then if you introduce her to tech like too late, then she's not gonna be able to like process that.
Right. And that's kind of the problem that my generation is having with that is that, if we take it away, then our child falls behind with the rest of the world because the
Yeah.
rest of the world is still going with tech. But
Hmm.
if we continue with it and we have a child that is really open and naive in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
and just kind of, saying, "Oh yeah, I live in Laramie, Wyoming," and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Because I don't really want to go into this case with you, but there was a case of a young girl. I don't remember her age, but I want to say she was maybe 12 or 13 years old. And she had started to talk to what she thought was a boy her age online.
Mhm.
It wasn't. It was a fully grown man. And so she skipped school one day, and he was going to come over, and they were going to, hang out. But who ended up showing up at her house was a fully grown man, and
Yeah.
he actually literally kidnapped her and took her to a storage unit, and he put his whole truck with her inside of it in there and did unspeakable things, and he
Yeah.
eventually took her life, and that's very, it's scary.
Rapper
For
said, "Can he ask an important question?"
Wait, what?
Rapper said, "Can he ask an important question?"
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, rapper. If anyone wants to come up, I'll put the
Yeah, I was about to
link.
say, I want to know if they have any questions.
Yeah. Yeah. People are always so gun shy. You remember when I was talking to you about that earlier? But you don't
Somebody come
have
join
to.
us.
Yeah, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to, but you can come up on a panel and just be anonymous. I choose to show my face because this is my channel. Jace is kind of a lot like me and not afraid to do that. But and people that I don't want to say that not afraid, but it's just some people just prefer to be just anonymous. But if you guys want to come up and ask a
Okay.
question,
If someone or anyone tried to break into your house with your son, how would or how would you both get out? I'm fighting. Uh,
I'm gonna let Jace speak on that because
okay.
he absolutely knows our family.
Rapper.
Jace, how do you think that would go down?
So is it me, you, Tyler, and Aubrey, or is it just like me and you?
It's me, you, Tyler, Aubrey, Callie, Austin. That
What
person
time of the
is
day?
literally not
What
leaving
time?
our house alive.
What time is the day? What time of day is it?
Anytime.
Okay, I guess I'll say like midnight. Are we half asleep or are we wide awake?
Half asleep.
Half. Okay, um I think the first person who would like detect somebody is in the house would probably be me. And then I think I'd probably run to you and Tyler. And then like Tyler would go full wrestling mode.
What would
You
I
would
do?
you would probably pull out a pew pew and Austin would have grabbed the fist. Callie would have grabbed Callie would have grabbed the blade. Aubrey would have just been hiding, and I think we're just gonna go ham.
Like I said, if
The
anybody ever
Gallagher's
came up on my in our house with our family, and tried to hurt anyone, you're just probably gonna leave on a stretcher in a black bag. Just the way that we all are. Um, you're probably not gonna leave our house alive. So,
you
yeah.
know, if it was me, I'd probably be dead meat, but I'd grab one of my prop stores.
You'd what?
Look in the chat.
Oh, what? I didn't see.
I have the chat put up on my TV right here. That's why I look up a lot, so I can see it.
Okay, so rapper said, "I know how to fight if someone broke into my home." Gloria Dellen is saying, completely off topic, but now you're in Wyoming. Each county has a number on their license plate. You will see a lot of two now. Okay, that is very off topic, Glory. Gloria is saying, well, if it was me, I'd probably be dead meat, but I'd grab one of my prop swords. Me and Chase are laughing. Let me mute why I laugh more. Hold on. Listen, JC, you don't know Glory. She is my friend. But I want to laugh harder at this because I know Glory. So,
I wish we had Erica on here.
oh my gosh. Can you imagine Erica's answer?
We have to do a stream with me, you, and Erica.
She won't go on a live stream with me. Well,
She
no,
won't?
she did she has, but
Mhm.
she doesn't like to talk about true crime.
No.
Yeah.
We could talk about like a different topic though. Like,
Well, we could,
yeah.
but I have a crime time with Jess channel, son. If it was like an
Make a pod,
entertainment channel.
make a second channel, make a podcast channel. That actually wouldn't
I,
be a bad idea. I'm
yeah,
gonna be
I was
honest.
thinking about that because I have
Making
so
a
many
second channel.
interesting people that I talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, you as my son, I mean, you're interesting all on your own.
Yeah.
Erica's crazy interesting. Tyler in his own right is interesting. Clorendella is interesting. Harry is interesting. I have a lot of interesting people that I talk to. You know what? I think you and I should actually. This is the first time we're saying this, but I think you and I should start a podcast.
We should. That would be a
We
good podcast.
Yeah, just mother
That
and
would.
son, but we've always had like a natural rapport with one another. You kind of have my brain, and you're welcome for that. But you do. I mean, you're just I
Rapper, rapper, I love you.
what did a rapper say? I would
I
definitely
would.
tune
I
in.
would definitely tune in.
Yeah, I mean, Jace is just so, and I'm not gassing myself up here, but with saying he has my brain and stuff like that, because he is his own person. But I mean, Jace is just highly intelligent, highly emotionally intelligent,
Yeah.
and for 12 years old, I mean, he'll be 13 in November. So he's just a
When you be a
very
teenager, yo.
you're gonna be a teenager, yo.
I'm scared of
S-
acne. I don't know why. I just don't want acne at all. That's the. I don't care about any other puberty thing. That's the only thing I'm really worried about is acne.
See, you're just like
I don't care about.
totally.
I don't care about my voice getting deep. I don't care about anything else. I'm just scared of acne.
You don't want pizza face.
Yes.
Hopefully, you get my DNA. Well, actually, I mean, your dad never had bad skin. Neither did I. So I think you're in the clear. If you have
Yeah.
bad skin, we might have to get a DNA. But I'm pretty positive
I think I
your
might be
father
fine
never.
though, because I think usually kids they do start getting a little bit of acne before they hit like puberty a little bit. I haven't really got anything, so I think I'm good.
Jace, let me ask you this.
Okay.
If you had all the money in the world, all the money, like money was zero object, nothing, it didn't matter. What would you do with it?
I look like an Adam Driver. Okay.
Jace is so reading all the comments.
I am
I'm
because I have it pulled up on my monitor right here. I'm just reading them.
Uh,
I like reading comments. I love reading the chat.
so
It's
do I.
fun. I like
But
interacting with the chat.
I like it, but at the same time, when I'm talking to somebody like this, I try to not look at it so much because it gets distracting. You know what I mean? So let's just give a
Okay, back to the
scenario.
question. Back to the question.
Yeah, answer the
Get back
question.
to my
So
question.
let's just say like you're like Mr. Beast level. Mr.
Oh, okay.
Beast, the YouTuber. You got all the money. You got the
I don't
platform.
think
What are you doing with the
I'm
money?
that. I'm definitely not being stupid. I'm definitely not gonna tell anybody that I have all this money, obviously, because then they're gonna start asking, and they're gonna. I'm not doing all that. So
Jesus.
I think the only person I would probably tell would probably be you. So I think I would buy you, Tyler, and Aubrey a house,
Oh, I love you, son.
and then I
Um,
think I'll probably like give my dad like 1,000 and tell him to keep his head up. I guess keep your head up, pal. No,
I
because
I
like
didn't want to I didn't want to laugh that hard, but he deserved that comment, and it's out of your mouth. I'm gonna let it hang in the air. But either way, I appreciate that. I actually, Jason, you have always impressed me because you just have this way about you. I mean, even from kindergarten, you were just always this really crazy popular kid, and I didn't know it. I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that until I showed up to bring you into your kindergarten graduation. And I take you into your classroom and you're dressed in your little tie and all of that. And all of a sudden, I bring my kid into the classroom just thinking I'm just bringing my son in to, do his kindergarten
everybody
graduation.
comes up, runs up to me to,
Oh, they all ran up. Jace, look at what Jace is wearing. And they were all excited. And I was like, holy crap, Jace, but you've just always had that natural way about you. And, uh, it's just not a bad thing. I could just hold conversations with you all day long, pick your brain all day long, and you always have interesting comments or interesting things to say, and some of them are unexpected, but a lot of your thought process or your
hmm
opinions I agree with.
hmm Now, what if we talk about our different uh we talked about this for a little bit, but I want to get like deeper into it, our music generations.
Okay.
So, what do you think changed the most in our music generation?
Um, if I have to be honest, intelligence, honestly, and tech. Tech has been
Yeah,
the huge point in this conversation,
yeah,
but definitely tech. Because the rappers from the '90s, from my generation,
hmm
they didn't have all that tech. They didn't have all of that. It all came from here and came right out of the mouth, and that's what it was. With your generation, there's tons of tech, there's tons of help, there's all this AI, there's all this kind of stuff, and it's just disingenuous. It's not genuine.
yeah,
Um, and so I think that's what changed, and then also like rappers from my generation, they were legitimate lyricists.
yeah.
Where like I'll bring up this story that you and I were talking about the other day, but Eminem said, you know, somebody said nothing rhymes with the word orange, and I took that personally. That's what he said. And so what did he do? He made a ton of words rhyme with orange. And that's just a true lyricist. The rappers that I see in your generation right now, they just I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Excuse my language, but I what are you talking about? Like it's just so basic, you know. I was on your block. Shorty had a Glock. I hit her with a sock. I got a rock, a Japanese rock. What you gonna knock? I mean, and I just made that
Yeah.
up. But literally, with your generation, that could be like on the top Billboard charts. Do you know what I mean? Where my rappers were like rapping backwards, like Biggie. I don't really want to say this line to you because it's inappropriate, but
Okay,
Biggie,
do you think rappers from your generation like Pac and Biggie and like do you think if they came into the music genre like the rap game we're in right now,
yeah.
do you think they could like save the rap game and make it like better?
Well, absolutely, and I'll tell you, I guess you don't know, but Eminem just dropped a new song like 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah,
I have to give
yeah,
that
and
a
and
listen.
it's
That's
called
crazy.
Houdini, and it's literal magic. He just kills it like he
Yeah.
always does. I mean, this dude is almost 50 years. I think he is 50 years old, or close to it. But he's still just dropping bombs like he always has because it's a
Yeah.
natural talent. What I don't
Yeah.
like within your generation, not nothing against you, you didn't do this, but just within your generation is, and we talked about this before as well, is the drill rappers,
Hmm.
just glorifying killing,
Yeah.
a lot of killing, and the gang life and stuff like that, and then you have people look up to people like King Von, who is a serial killer. I mean, he just literally enjoyed killing. And,
Hmm.
he even said himself, well, I just rap because I just need some money. But that's not really what I want to do. I like staying in the streets. So I just look at those kinds of guys like, what the heck is wrong with you? You had Biggie, who Pac, you had Jay-Z. Jay-Z's a good example, because came straight from Brooklyn, straight from the streets. But he made enough money that he got himself out of that.
Hold on. I like
Jason
this
wants to
question a
answer
lot.
Lauren Dellen's question.
I like this question a lot.
Okay.
Um, are we talking top three or top five? What are we talking?
Whoever, let's go top three.
My top three role models? Ooh. Okay. I think what are role models again? Because like usually I always get like role models and like what are they called? Idols confused. Are they like the same thing or like
No. So idols are kind of people that you just like worship, but role models are someone that you like really look up to, like in a positive way. Like,
okay,
you want to emulate them. You kind of want to be like them because you think positively of them.
okay. I think it'd be pattern yourself after. What does that mean?
It means like what I just said. Like
Okay.
who you would like to like follow in their footsteps. Like, this
I think
person.
one of them is he's a YouTuber. His name is Jinxie. The reason why I think me and him are like have a lot in common. He always says that he was never good in education and he's never like he was good at it, but he just never really took education seriously. Kind of like me, like I'm really smart, but I just don't like usually put that like to my fullest because I don't want to go to college. I don't want it because like I always try to tell like my grandparents when they ask me um like what do I do when I get older and I always say like I want to play video games and they always like think I want to make video games. I don't want to make video games. I want to stream video games basically like on YouTube or like any other streaming platform. But a lot of people don't really understand that it's actually a job. But I think anything that you put your mind to and any job you want can be a job as long as you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that job. And another person, I would say, mm, it'd be kind of biased if I said you, but um,
Well, you can say me if you want. That's
okay, I'll say
okay.
you. And
Why?
then
Why me? I
I
made
think I get a,
tons of mistakes, son. You've lived with me your whole life. You know all the mistakes I made. Why would you say me?
I think I get a lot from you. I think I get like most of like my good traits from you.
Oh,
And
okay.
then my final person, it's just hard.
I love the fake yawn because you don't know what to say at this point.
No,
But
that was actually a real yawn. Mom, it's
no,
2 o'clock in the morning.
that was not a real
That
yawn.
was a
Like
real
I
yawn.
know you. That was
That
totally
was
a
a real
fake
yawn.
yawn. Totally a fake yawn. But either way, um, role
By the
models.
way, but guys, by the way, I'm doing the stream for you guys because I am supposed to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning this morning, and I'm
For
out here
what?
and I'm doing a live stream with my mother.
Okay, hold on. Why do you have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning?
I got summer school.
Oh my gosh, Jace.
Mom, it's
We
fine.
gotta end this live stream.
I've been up. Mom, I promise it's fine. I'm good. I don't even sleep in class. I swear, like I'm better in the mornings.
Okay, let me just say this, okay? So Jace's first role model that he said is dead on because Jace is probably one of the most intelligent kids that I know, and maybe that's biased, but I don't I don't think so. He truly is. But you genuinely hate school, and I don't know why, because you're so good at it. Like
Hmm.
you don't even apply yourself, and you just get like good grades randomly. So not randomly, just you're smart. So I don't know why you are like that. Because it's never been an intellectual issue with Jace. It's never been a it's never been any of that. It's just been Jace like, I don't want to do the work. And I'm like, what? You know? So I've had to like sit
It's exactly
there.
like that. I don't take it seriously.
Why?
I could take it seriously, but I just don't choose to.
Son, I have literally last year, I had to go into school with Jace and we sat around a big old round table with his principal and his teachers and his guidance counselors and all of that. And we all knew that it wasn't an intellectual problem. And so his principal asked him, like, Jace, why? Like, why do we want to do the work? And Jace sits there and he's sitting
I'm
at
s-
this
I'm
table
s-
with all these adults and he goes, I just don't like this school. I just don't like it. I just don't want
I
to do
I
it.
I I I kept it honest with them. I kept it honest with them.
You absolutely did keep it honest with them. Um, but
That school
I
was too ghetto for me.
well, I'll just say this, I guess, because you're always gonna run into people that you don't like
Yeah.
or that you don't really click with, but you can't just not do
Mm,
or because you don't like it.
yeah.
Because there's always gonna be even for the president, we can bring Trump into this again. There's just always going to be an authority figure above you. And so, no matter who that is, whether it's me, your parent, whether it's your boss, whether it's your country, whether it's a law, there's always going to be, and I explained this to you before, but there's just always going to be someone above you that you kind of have to follow those things. And I know how you are. You are very much like me. You love the unconventional, unbeaten path. You don't really like authority. You don't really like to be told what to do. I never have either. But I had to learn the hard way that there's laws, there's rules. And if you don't follow them, you don't go along with them, you're gonna find yourself in some trouble, and that's really what I don't want from you because you're just too intelligent and capable of so much that I don't want to see you ruin your life path with just straight defiance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I definitely know what you're capable of. Um, and you've just always been capable of really great things. I mean, you just have you have shown it from a very young age, just a high intelligence level, a high emotional level. You just you always have. I'll tell a story about you, and you probably won't remember this, but you were 3 years old, and you weren't talking, not the way I thought you should have. And so I told your doctor, your pediatrician, I said, I don't know what's wrong. He's not talking like a lot. So they got concerned. They thought you were autistic and they sent out people literally to our house and you killed me. Oh God, you freaking killed me, dude. I just could have went like this because they come to the house, right? And they're throwing a ball with you and they're like, "Jace, what is this?" They're holding up a fork and a spoon and you're like, "Fork, spoon, ball." You're saying all these words that I tried to get you to say forever and you never wanted to say them. They come out, you say all the words and I'm just sitting there like, "Jesus." You know what I mean? This kid's been playing me for a whole year. And then your doctor's like, there's nothing wrong with him. Like he speaks perfectly fine. We don't have to have any more tests. Like he's good. And I was like, okay, Chase. And even after that, I held up a spoon to you. I said, Jace, what is this? And you were like this, just a shoulder shrug. I don't know. And
I
I was like, you just said it 2 days ago. Your doctor knows you can say spoon, and you were like, hmm. I was like, okay, fine. Do you
I
wanna play
don't
this game?
I don't like to socialize, to be honest.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I think not really. Like I
I
think
think
I some days I want to socialize with people, but other days I just want to be alone.
yeah, I
Like
was about to say, I think you also get that from me because some days I'm, like, ready to talk people's ears off and wanna socialize a lot, and other days I'm just like, "Can everybody not talk to me for, like,
mm,
24 hours?" You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, but I just saw you yawn. I love you, son, and you do have to finish that. So, just for anybody that's wondering, Jason in Alabama, right now, with his grandparents, and his summer school ends June 26th. So I will be flying to Alabama to pick him up and flying him back here to Wyoming. And I'm very much looking forward to that because I have not hugged my baby in months and months. So yes, very much looking forward to that. How do you feel about moving to Wyoming, son?
I just
It's a beautiful state, I
if
promise you.
I go to school there, the girls better be cute because if they're
Oh
not, I
my
wanna
gosh.
if they're not cute, I wanna move back.
Well, I don't know. I don't look at 12-year-old girls as cute or not, so you'll have to be the judge of that. Either way, you don't have a choice. You're coming to Wyoming. That's just end of discussion, but I love you. So I really
I love you
appreciate
too.
your brain, Jason. I love you to my core. So I appreciate you having this conversation with me publicly because we've definitely had it privately. But I think we can go ahead and end it because you do have summer school tomorrow. Because again,
Mm.
Jason's crazy intelligent. He just doesn't like to do
It's
things sometimes.
stupid. Like I already finished. But mom, like, come on, you gotta let me slide. I finished my unit test today. I got a 100 on that. I can show you proof right now.
I am
I have to
very
start
proud
my
of you.
next unit tomorrow.
I am very proud of
Shake
you.
'em swag. Let me stay for a couple. I got 100.
I am proud of you. You just have to apply yourself more, son. That's all. Because you're totally capable of it.
I'm
100%.
one step ahead the whole class. I'm good.
Okay. Well, you might be going to the University of Wyoming one day.
Huh. University.
Yeah.
Girl, what? Take him to
Yeah.
Devil's Tower after watching Cleveland Browns do the first time.
Honestly, I think you're really gonna like it when you see it. Like I went and looked at the college today, and I really liked it. Like they had a whole park out there. There was two women out there having a picnic, a couple out there having a picnic. Like it was just really, I really like this town. Just all around good vibes. I'll tell you something bad that happened to me today. Right? I
Okay.
didn't tell you this.
Okay.
So I got the big old U-Haul with
Yeah.
all our stuff in it. So I tell Aubrey, I'm like, let's go explore Laramie. So she gets in the car, we get in the car, and I was like, oh crap, we got to go get some gas. This big giant freaking U-Haul that I have, I pull up to the gas pump and I hit. This is not funny, but they have the big like cement blocks at
Yeah.
the end of the gas pumps.
Yeah.
I backed into it. I took a giant chunk of stop shaking your head like that. It's very aggressive. I'm being attacked right now. As much as I attacked that cinder block. So I took a big chunk of the cinder block out, and the store owner comes out, and he just stood there like this. and, and I just put my head down and I just lowered my head and I just put my card in and just got the gas and I just like left. And then he took all my money off my card. And I think it was to pay for what the chunk of concrete I took out of his pole.
You need to be banned from Laramie, Wyoming. You need to be banned from Laramie, Wyoming for a day.
I'm on
Cause
I'm on timeout. Okay. I'll go on a 24-hour timeout. That's fine. I think you're right because I was and guess who I was on the phone with? Erica.
Erica,
Of course, I was on the phone with Erica, and she goes, "Jesus, you haven't even been there 24 hours, and you're already wrecking up the town." You know? So I was like, "Oh my god, this is so terrible." But yeah, that happened, and I just said it on a live stream. So there you go. But I love you, babe. You
I
do
love you
need to
too.
get to bed.
No, I
So
don't.
I appreciate you coming on here and talking just from your generation's point of view, and I
Yeah.
think everyone else appreciated hearing that from you. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I love you, babe.
All right, I love you too.
All right, bye, guys.
Okay, bye guys.